Forward head posture. We all know what it is. And unfortunately today it's more common than it's ever been, and even in younger and younger people. With forward head posture, we can develop it over time and not even realize. For instance, if I'm looking in the mirror and doing my hair and makeup and I have forward head, we might not notice unless we look from the side. So what happens too when we have forward head posture is our obviously head comes forward, but also what happens is we get more extension in the back of our neck. So then we also could develop rounded shoulders and get problems throughout the rest of our body. Some things that happen is headaches, neck and shoulder pain. And then, like I said too, we could have a problem in our neck, forward head posture, and have problems that go all the way down to our feet. So a lot of people just accept forward head posture as a part of aging, but we don't have to. Let's not accept it as a part of aging. We can do so much to correct it, and I'm going to show you a few things today. Unfortunately, if we don't address it, we can develop a posture that we cannot reverse, that we cannot correct. And just remember, there's always room for improvement. If you have had forward head posture and rounded shoulders for 30 or 40 years, you might not be able to get back to a neutral, healthy posture, but you can always make improvements. So don't ever just shrug and move on. Today, we're going to talk about 5 things to help improve the forward head posture. The first thing is an awareness. So we develop this because we're not paying attention. It's called text neck today, oftentimes. That's self-explanatory, but also just sitting on the couch watching television, driving your kids around, just sitting at a desk doing computer work, just emotions. There's so many things that can contribute to that. So let's begin, number 1, with an awareness. And let's see if you can just correct it by paying attention. So with your breath, you're going to inhale and exhale deeply. And now on the inhale, try to lift up through the center of your head. So when you're lifting, you should feel this even in your deep core muscles. When I talk about core, that is from your hip all the way up to your cervical spine. So you're just really lifting and lengthening that position. So that's the first step, awareness throughout the day, when you're driving, when you're watching TV, when you're on your cell phone. The second thing that I want to talk about is let's find these muscles that are contributing to this forward head posture. We're just going to talk about one of them today, called the sternocleidomastoid. So if I look to my side, you can see this muscle from the back of my ear. It goes all the way to my clavicle and it will pop out. And you can actually just gently rub that with your fingers. It shouldn't be painful at all, but just take about 30 seconds every day just to rub that out on both sides of your neck. You can also just take your fingers and just right below the base of your skull, just rub those muscles out as well. So we have awareness, and then we have just kind of massaging some muscles that might be really tight, contributing to this forward head posture. Number 3, we want to stretch. So one thing that we will do, again, finding that awareness, sitting up straight and tall, lengthening through the top of your head, drop your head to the side, take the opposite arm down and just really gently adding pressure to the top of your head. And so from the side position, you'll hold that for 30 seconds. And then look up at the ceiling. Your chin will drop to the ceiling and you hold that position for 30 seconds. And then you look down at the ground and move your hands slightly, and your chin will drop down to the ground, and hold that for 30 seconds, and then come back to center and lift up. And you can do the other side again, keeping those shoulders square, really drawing the opposite shoulder down, looking straight in front, looking up at the ceiling, looking down at the ground, coming back to the side, and then lifting up back to center. Now we're going to add just 2 exercises to practice daily. So one of them is Pilates exercise called breaststroke preps. So you're going to, on the floor, you're going to lie down, and from this position, because we are on the ground and we are doing a exercise to help correct posture, you want to remember your whole body. We're not just going to pay attention to our upper body. So remembering our body works as a whole, and we talked about earlier, if one part of our body, if we have forward head posture, that can affect our whole body. So let's be mindful from head to toe. Hands by your shoulders. Now you're going to either have your legs together, or they can be about shoulder width apart with the toes pointing out, laterally rotated. And from this position, I'm just hovering above the mat, and I'm lengthening. We talked about that lengthening through the top of my head. Let's find that breath first. Inhale through your nose, and then exhale. You want to find that abdominal engagement as you exhale. Now in this position, I'm also stabilizing through my scapula, through my shoulder blades. So I'm just gently drawing my shoulders down and slightly together. I'm going to inhale to prepare, exhale, gentle pressure through the palms of my hands. As I lift up, the bottom of my rib cage is going to just touch the mat still. One inhale here, and then exhale, lengthen away as you slowly come back to hover position. Inhale, exhale, lengthen away through the top of your head, engage the glutes, pull the belly button up off the ground, inhale up here, and then exhale to lower down. We'll just do 3 to 5 reps. I'm going to do 3. Inhale here, exhale, lift up, lengthen through the top of your head. One inhale here, and then exhale to slowly lower back down. Then you can come up and push back into a shell stretch. So I'm going to sit back on my feet, walking my fingertips forward here. Do 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale, find that expansion in your rib cage. Exhale. After the 3rd breath, we're going to do our second exercise, and we're going to do a modified plank. So when you come down into a plank, again, we're working our whole body, but really paying attention that we maintain that neutral head posture. So a lot of common mistake in plank is people tend to drop down in their shoulder blades, or they tend to drop their head forward. So really being mindful of lengthening through the top of your head. Find that glute engagement here, pull the belly button in, and just hold it for as long as you can. So inhale, remember to breathe. Exhale deeply, find that core, abdominal engagement, lengthening through the top of the head. Inhale. Exhale, find that strong shoulder blades working, and then hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then when you're done, come back into shell stretch again, and then slowly roll up. And try that every day and see how that works for you. Okay.